All good?
Yep.
All right. Good morning, class.
Morning.
All right. I would like for you to imagine yourself walking the halls of a decrepit building. The walls are all tattered and teared. The windows are covered in dirt and musk. There's a strange smell of rotting flesh. As you're walking down the hall, you then hear the sound of clicking, a very distinct clicking sound. You tense up. You see a corridor. You can pinpoint that's where the clicking's coming from. You put your back against the wall, start, and you turn to the corridor and turn your head and peek inside. And what do you see? You see a creature of unimaginable horror. Its head horribly disfigured, its body twitching, and you can hear clearly that the clicking's coming from the creature itself. You pull out your knife. You look on the ground, you see a glass bottle. You pick it up. You chuck it across from yourself, and the glass shatters. The creature then reacts to the sound and starts sprinting towards it. And then he then stops where the sound is and starts twitching and looking where the sound is. You quickly sneak up behind it. You then choke it and stab it right in the head. And just before it can make a sound, you pull it out, the knife, and you stab it again and give it a nice twist. You feel the creature's body go limp, and you drop the body with a low thud. You're trying to collect your thoughts. Heavy breathing, the sound of your heart by your ears. As you're trying to steady yourself, you then hear not just one, but multiple clickings behind you. You turn and look, and you see that there are three of the same creature that responded to the glass breaking. You tense up. You then pull out your revolver. Steady hand. Take a deep breath. And the moment you pull down that hammer and make that initial click, all the creatures started running towards you, snarling and waving their arms. That, my friends, is the horrors and thrills of playing one of PS4's greatest games, The Last of Us Remastered, for the PS4. Now, you can only play this kind of game on the PS4. So if you're an Xbox player, too bad. So my job today is to convince you why is PlayStation such a great system. I'll explain to you what makes it unique and all the great things that come with it. So let's start by why is it such a great system? Well, from a game writer and reviewer from the Raging Gazebo stated that the reason why PlayStation is so has great sales is because it has a variety of games that are exclusive for PlayStation. There are a number of games that are so good and that are only for PlayStation. And then from a really good gaming magazine, Game Informer, he listed their personal top 10 games that should be played on PlayStation. He listed from, but now please know that some of the games I'm going to mention now are also for Xbox, but he recommends that they're really good to play on PlayStation 4. One of them being Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War 2018, Spider-Man 2018, The Last of Us, Bloodborne, Monster Hunter World, and so on and so forth. Now, let me talk about what makes PlayStation so unique. For one thing, it's not region locked, and what that means is that you can get more games not just from here, but like from Japan exclusively. I have a brother, and he just loves playing nothing but Japanese anime games. So he made a Japanese account on the PlayStation, and basically he started downloading all these raw, undubbed, unsubbed Japanese games. And he loves them. I try to convince him to play Call of Duty and other stuff like that. He doesn't want. He just always wants the exclusive stuff that's only from Japan. And the other thing that makes PlayStation 4 so unique is that it has its own PlayStation VR headset. And that's a really, unlike Xbox and Switch, they don't have a VR headset that's custom to them. But PlayStation has it. And it's a very simple headset to install. You just easily plug it in and sync up the controllers, and there you go. Now some of us may not like that it kind of restricts us, and it kind of does, but it's a very long cord, so you have room to move around. The one game I recommend that you can play in the PSVR headset is the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now this game I have played on just the screen by itself, and I was terrified of the game. But when one of my friends offered me, I went to his house and he offered me to play on the VR headset. I put it on, started playing, I pissed my pants. It was that terrifying. And that was a good experience. I was already scared and terrified of the game just by seeing a feed from the TV. But actually putting the headset on, actually playing it, the enemies are like nose to nose to you, and it's horrifying. So now, let's talk about the exclusive games that come with PlayStation. One of them, like I described, was Last of Us, a horror survival game. In this game, sound is like a double-edged sword. It can hinder you, also help you. In the game, the creatures I described were called clickers, and they use echolocation to determine where their prey is. And in Last of Us, not only do you have to worry about the clickers, but you also have to worry about the humans in the game. They are aggressive. They're trying to shoot you down, stab you, all the above. But you can also try and sneak by them. In The Last of Us, stealth and sound are the only tools you can use. You can use your gun, but then you can alert the others, or you can take them stealthily and use sound to distract them. As for clickers, as I said, if there are a bunch of clickers nearby, it's better to take them stealthily. Now, another game for PS4 that's really good is God of War 2018. And we all heard of God of War, right? So in this God of War, Kratos and his son decide to just relax and try to fulfill his mother's wish. Well, his wife's wish too. But then, of course, since he's Kratos, the gods, since he's Kratos, life is not easy for him. So as he's trying to fulfill his quest for his wife, certain things happen on his way trying to fulfill that quest. Now, another game that I really recommend for people who have jobs or just too busy to play is a really good game. Is The Last Guardian. This game is a really good game. It's heavily story-based and simple puzzles. So if you don't have time, in case of your job, I recommend getting that game. The story is about a young kid who meets this creature called a Trico. And eventually they go on adventures together and find out how did Trico come to be and who is the kid. Apparently he has no memory. And there's one more game I recommend that for PS4 if you should pick it up this Christmas. Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn takes a very, very weird concept. Imagine this. Cave people fighting giant robotic dinosaurs. Sounds stupid, right? But Horizon Zero Dawn takes that concept and just amplifies it. From developers Guerrilla Games, who made the Killzone series, decided to do a different turn. Decided to make an open world game where you play as a female character, Aloy. So as you play as Aloy, you have to discover who she is and why has technology disappeared and reappeared into the shapes of giant dinosaurs and creatures. I personally have the game and I love it. Like I said, it's a kind of a weird concept of being cave people fighting dinosaurs. Plus, I think it's a really good concept. So Black Friday has passed us, and now we're at the dawning of Christmas. So I think you should pick up PS4 today. Thank you.
So Nick, what did you think?
I think you had some pretty cool visualization at the beginning, talking about 7, that guy twice, twisting the knife a little bit. That was pretty good. Thought that was in the game. I think you did a good job of letting us know what your points were going to be, how it's unique, the great things on the exclusive games. Your delivery was really good. I thought you had really good eye contact with everyone. The conclusion was a little abrupt, but overall it was pretty good.
Yeah, most of what Nick just said I would agree with. I think that the delivery is solid. The opening goes on a little long. You know, I do like that you get into it, you give us a description, you're pulling us in with the details that you've got, but you got to get through it a little bit quicker because I'm going, okay, let's get to the point here, you know, and it's almost 2 minutes in before you finally get to the point. So you got a long story that you're starting with, and I think that hurts a little bit. I do think that you have a very clear statement of what your objective is. There's a pretty good preview. In the body of the speech, it sounds like you've got an organizational structure, but once you start listening to that, on that third point, the exclusive games, then it just becomes kind of a list, and all we're getting is, here's the description of the narrative of this game, and here's another game, and here's another game, and here's another game. What I'm wanting to know is, what's unique about this game on PlayStation? Why, not only is it you can only play it on PlayStation, but you mentioned some other games that exist on other formats as well. And you had a couple of quotes early on that talked about why you ought to be playing it on PlayStation, but I didn't really figure out why. In other words, somebody says, oh, I really recommend playing it on PlayStation. I'm going, does it play more smoothly? Are the graphics better? That kind of thing. I didn't really know what it was that was the selling point for PlayStation. And if you're advocating PlayStation also, then I'm missing some fundamental information here. If you're trying to convince me that I should be investing in a PlayStation, you don't really make it a policy claim. You're just kind of making a claim of value that it's great. The descriptions are okay. Like I said, they're fine. I'm not sure that I would feel compelled to ever do any of these things based just on the descriptions that you've got. I think like I said, I think you could turn this into a policy claim and incentivize us to get a PlayStation and talk about maybe some of the other things that go along with it, the price point, that stuff like that, to maybe sell a little bit more. Like I said, the second half of the speech just sounds like it's a it's an informative list of games, and if I was interested in those kinds of games, maybe the descriptions would be okay. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's just not as compelling for as many people as I think you want it to be. I appreciated your dolling yourself up for the day also. I think that makes a little bit extra impact there, so I thought that was good. Like I'm going to say, I agreed with Nick about the end of the speech especially. It just felt like, whoa, we're done.
Yeah.
Where's that summary? Where's the reminder? Here's what I was trying to accomplish. Here's how we got there. And here's why you should be agreeing with me. And I think you need to sell that a little bit more at the end of the speech, too. All right, thank you.